Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Welcome to Local Yokelz. This creepy little computer voice that tells you it's recording you. My God. Okay. So I have the absolute pleasure of recording a podcast with the one, the only, like truly to me, like legendary Troy Hollywood Vines. Troy, just say hey. Just
Hey, how's it going?
Hell yeah, man. Seriously, dude, like I don't know, like ever since, like I was just saying it, like ever since I kind of started like reaching out and getting people on this with me, like you were one on my list. I was just like, oh man, like to get Troy on would be fucking awesome. So it's just yeah, it's good to see your face.
It's
man.
Been nice and it's been fun listening to all of the other podcasts, just kind of catching up with people, I guess, kind of in that way too. It's been cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's sort of like evolved into, at least this like particular like thing. It's like evolved into that, and I actually like it's something I'm really appreciating about it. It's like, I don't know, in this weird way, like it's a way for everybody to kind of just catch up with each other. Like I haven't heard from Jameson for instance.
Yeah, honestly, it's
so long.
Definitely.
It's like
it's been nice to just kind of hear what everybody's been up to. I don't necessarily have everybody's contact information anymore either, so it's been kind of cool. Yeah.
No, seriously, same. Like at first I kind of felt silly, like being like, hey, what's your number again? And then like, and then like,
you're right.
I'll get it. Like I got like with you, like you sent me your digits, and like I was like, oh my God, dude, I totally recognize that number. Like,
yeah, I've had the same phone number ever since I got a phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like so many. I think there's like maybe like one person that has like a number that I didn't recognize when I got them, started collecting them again. They're like Pokemon in that way. You got to collect them all. Which that just jump into my next train of thought. That leads me to my next train of thought. Like that video that you posted of going through that Pokemon collection. Like I, one, was not surprised that you still have like some of those cards, but two, like I was so fucking impressed. I was like, holy shit, dude, you have so many. Like it's rad. When did you dig that out?
Thank you. When we moved, just kind of going through boxes and everything, and found a whole bunch of that stuff that was things, I think it was stuff my dad had collected since he's a bit of a pack rat.
Yeah.
It just, opened a box and it was like, oh, those look familiar. And it was like, I think they were just sitting in storage randomly and like getting, the weather temperatures, like hot and cold and everything. I was like, I'm kind of want to bring those inside. And, it's like, it was fun to just look at them, but just preserve them a little better, I guess, too. So
for sure. I feel that way about like things like my comics and stuff like that. Like I have stuff that I've left in the shed, we'll say, for too long, and then I'm like, oh my God, like what have I done? I gotta like
I mean, I kept seeing videos of people showing like their first generation of Pokemon cards, and it's like, oh, these are worth like $5,000 now or something. I was like, what? I was like, I think I have all those cards.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like flipping through them, I was just like, man, like it, either hang on to them for a little longer, or like you could probably, I mean, if you want, you could probably make a mint off of some of that. So
Yeah, definitely.
But it was just cool because they were like they were in like, dude, that was exactly how I remember collecting them. Like binder status with those like card slot like things and everything, man. I was just,
Yeah.
you just flipping through them. It just reminded me just like right back there, just going through like making trades with people and like, you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's 5th grade all over again.
Exactly, dude. I was having like Pokemon daydreams and wall ball nightmares. It was like, dude, I was telling somebody about wall ball today, not today, yesterday. Like, and I was like describing it, and when I was done, I just looked over and I looked at like, it was like a coworker of mine who's like 19, and I looked over at their face and they were just like horrified because I had this idea of like having to stand up against a wall just waiting for somebody to peg you. Like, yeah.
The worst, yeah. You try to get the ricochet off and hit the other guy in the nuts.
Dude. Yeah, dude, for real. Like, man, what a cruel but yet fun game. there is something satisfying, I gotta say, about finally getting your mark and like wailing somebody right in the back. Oh man, yeah, dude. But yeah, like that like I said, that just took me right back. I was just like, holy cow, man, like what a stash. I wish I would have kept like some of those things. I sold so much crap at like yard sales and stuff along the way, you know, that it's like, oh yeah. You either live with regret or you just deal with it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, man. So what else have you been up to as of late? Like how are things going at the homestead? You said you moved. How recently was that? That was a while ago, I take it, because
it was last September, so it's gone almost a year.
Okay.
We moved up to beautiful Quincy.
Oh, dude. I think Caleb was saying that he's like headed that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I picked up on that when he said that. I was like, oh, no kidding.
That's cool.
See if I can get in touch with him. Yeah, I'm doing an electrician's apprenticeship now, so
oh, wild.
That's what I'm up here for.
That's awesome, actually. How's that going?
Really good. Yeah, it's a 5-year program. I'm like 2.5 years into it now, so
nice.
It's at the Microsoft jobs or data centers that they're building up here. So
yeah. I was gonna say like that seems to be like kind of helping drive like that area a little bit. You know, it's like expanding like the Quincy area.
Oh, definitely. You know? There's been a lot of money infused into this town, and it's all fed from Bill Gates. You know,
he's open.
But yeah, there's like. Pretty much, yeah. There's a brand new high school up here. There's like they got like a new, I think, police department, and city hall. The fire department got a facelift. It's all just kind of
Dang, that's awesome.
It's not as ghetto as it used to be.
It was very much a one-road town for a while.
Yeah, well, it still is in some respects, but
fair enough. That road's still there.
Yeah, well, it's like, you know, housing in Wenatchee was just getting out of control. I mean, it still is. It's like, I think the average price of a house is around $400,000 now, and it's just like, yeah,
holy cow.
I don't really feel like going down that road.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
Yeah, so we're in a new housing development, so it's a brand new house where we're at. So
that's sick. Well, that's cool, man. That sounds like a good move, honestly. Well, and like the more Wenatchee starts like kind of building out, like, you know, it just keeps it doesn't have room to grow anymore. It's just getting denser.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and they're ripping out all the orchards and just putting in apartments now, basically. So it's just like,
it's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Wenatchee seems like it's always kind of been in this housing bubble of people from Seattle or whatever want to move over here and retire. So it's like, to them, you know, $400,000-$500,000 to a house is affordable. And it's like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and then they just come over here, drop that. They come over there and then just drop that, and then it's just like it just continues to just sort of raise that for everybody. It's such a weird, like, stupid cycle. There's like one day, I was visiting my mom, and this random person. We had like this really close interaction because they almost like bumped into me while walking or whatever, and in like small talk they mentioned like, oh yeah, we're over here from Seattle looking at some houses, and it was just like the most random like instance, but I was just like, Jesus, I was like, you can't, like every other person, it seems like, is like over here from across the Cascades looking for something now. And I don't know, it's weird because it makes sense in one way to like, because they all view that, like a lot of people living over on the west side of the state, people are so weirdly ignorant to like anything on the other side of the Cascades. Like they think from like Cle Elum to Spokane is East Washington, and like, and they they just like, they don't, I don't know, they just think everything over there is like podunk. It's weird. I fucking hate it. It's like a stupid mentality.
Which is like, you don't even realize that there's a desert on this side of the state either.
There's there's so much going on, and if anything's going to get developed more, it's going to be like that side of the state, because there's room to develop. And so it's like, I don't know, I think people need to stop being so ignorant to the fact that the east side of the Cascades offers quite a lot to the rest of this fucking state too,
Exactly.
It's bizarre, but that's cool. So how'd you end up like kind of landing on pursuing being an electrician? Excuse me.
Kind of career options and just decent paying jobs sort of in the area. There's not a lot, it's like you try to get on with a PUD or something, or it's like I was working at Fastenal, which it was okay. It was a good job and everything. I liked what I was doing, but the pay isn't that great, and just kind of like there really isn't any room to move up from there. And so it's just kind of like, all right, I need to try and find something else. And talking to just a couple people that actually had applied for this apprenticeship also, and they actually got in, and they were like, it's like, dude, like, just give it a shot anyway and just try. And
hell yeah.
It just kind of seemed like something to at least pursue. And it's like I didn't necessarily kind of come to the realization, it's like, oh man, I definitely want to be an electrician. But it's it's actually been really cool. It's been really good experience and everything, and just learning, and the trades are always something good to get into anyway. It's like, that's never gonna go away. There's always gonna be people needing power, so.
No, it's true, man. That's cool. I think that's similar to how I've like, I'm in school right now to kind of start the journey of becoming a librarian. So, like,
I remember you saying that on another one.
Yeah, like it's basically like what I'm doing is hopefully like, my goal is to just get like a good job that like can like cover some good salary, maybe some upward mobility. But it's like, it's not something that I was really like set out to pursue per se. But once I started like looking at options and trying to figure out like what I wanted out of a gig, which for so long I felt like I really needed a job that would give me like an identity. You know what I mean? Like this is me. Like, and I was trying to do that with coffee for so long. And when I started looking at like options of like what, kind of like what I think would fulfill me while also sustaining, life and whatnot, in terms of like money, it just sort of became, you start finding those options, which is kind of cool. And I don't know. So that's cool. I'm glad that you're like pursuing that, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just, those things too, where you just like, you're looking for something that's like, could become a career for you. It's like everything else just felt like a job, and it's like I want something that's actually like long term, and like like that pays well, and you get good benefits and insurance and everything. So
yeah, exactly.
It's like that'd be a good one to pursue.
Something you want to like, you can look, you can like invest your time in, and you can say like that does get rewarded. It's that's been like one of the hardest things with like these kind of just sort of crappy jobs. I'm still working at a cafe right now, and it's great for what it is, but it's not, yeah, there's not going to be like an opportunity for me to like look back and be like, look at where I started and where I am, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's like, look at where I started and look at where I still am. Like, and you know, those kind of jobs, those kind of jobs get old, man. Those kind of jobs turn into something that I think eventually you realize you don't want, because it's, you know, they may pay for things, they may, like, you know, sustain you a little bit, but I feel like you're missing some sort of like pride in your work, or like pride in like what you do in that way.
Yeah, you know? Definitely.
And so, not that I don't think I make like good coffee, or I'm not like, you know, not proud of the work I do, in case somebody from work is listening, you know.
Yeah. I'm not shitting where I eat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've told my boss about this podcast so many times, and I just keep wondering. He's never told me that he's listened, but he's referenced things that I feel like I've talked about, and I'm like,
yeah,
like is this coincidence, or
right.
Not that I care.
He's
it's like
subtly, yeah,
he's just like kind of subtly checking it out. Which reminds me, man, like when you messaged me and told me that you had been listening, I just gotta say, like, that was like, I didn't care when I got that. Like at that point, I didn't care like dick all who was fucking listening. But when you told me you were, like, that made my entire podcasting like so worth it, because I was just like elated at the fact. Like, I don't know, man. Like I
appreciate that. That's cool.
not to get too like campy, but like I've just, you know, I've been beating myself over the brow because I feel like I haven't reached out and been a good friend to a lot of people, and just to hear that you've been trying to, like, you know, stay, you know, even just staying up to date in whatever way. I was like, damn, dude, Troy's fucking there, man. Like, I don't know, it was cool. So I just wanted to mention that while we're here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of kudos to you to even kind of start putting this together, because it's a great way for people to tune in with everybody again, and just, like, you know, it's like I said, you know, it's like I don't necessarily have everybody's contact info anymore, so it's kind of nice I can hear straight from them, you know, like, oh, this is what they're up to and everything. Yeah. It's the only thing. It's been a cool.
Jeremiah so far, the only thing that he's guilted me about, like, not posting videos of things. He's like, you know, that's like a whole different ball game, but it's also like, I don't know. I think we all know each other's faces, so this works.
Right. No, it'd be fun to do a podcast with him too, kind of like the original Simon the Leper or something.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, that should be the next one then. I guarantee you, like, if you're down to do some other ones in the future, like, that was what I had in mind going into this. I was like, dang, dude, like, getting the three of us together would be fucking rad. Like, good call on that one.
Man. It's fun. It'd be fun to just pick his brain. I know you've mentioned it before too. He's just kind of a musical encyclopedia, just to like, oh, dude, what'd you think of this band or whatever? You know, just
for real, man.
It's fun to talk to him. Yeah, that's for sure.
Jeremiah is one of the most animated and lively human beings I've ever met, and like, as he gets older, he still just keeps that energy. It's like, it's just the most uncanny thing, man. I love it. And dude, he sends me, like, every other day, he sends me like 7 to 8 links to like different songs he's listening to the day before or something. It's like, it's hard to keep up, man. I'm always like, damn, how do you cram so much? Like, I don't have time to listen to all of this.
That one podcast, I think it's the first one you did, was just the two of you, and you were just talking about like the different subgenres of metal.
Oh, dude,
I was like, man, I didn't even understand half what he was saying. I was just like, what?
Dude, I know. I was like, that's why I was just like blown away. I was like, man, this goes deep.
Yeah. And you're just like, what's thrash metal? And he's like, oh, and it just goes right into it. Like,
exactly, man.
I had no idea.
When, you know, like, when we were around each other more, like playing music and stuff, like, I just remember him, you know, like sitting down for days at a time, just like learning different scales just to like fit like a particular thing. And so, like, you know, he's just spent time like absorbing so much musical knowledge.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like other, whether it's like bands and songs that are out there, or like different like ways to really like mainly play guitar. He's really honed in on that. He kind of got into drumming a little bit, I think, for a bit, but I don't know if he ever had access to like a full kit to really bang around. But yeah, dude, that dude's another. I started Local Yokelz because I was like, I know so many people that are just so much fucking cooler than I am, who do like, whether they're like skilled at this or that, or like just like they're always thinking about like a certain thing or like whatever. Like I just know so many people that have like just so much going on that it was like he was one of them on the top of the list. It was just sort of like, God, dude, you could have Jeremiah on an episode for anything, really. Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
So,
well, same with David. Like, that was really cool to hear how he's doing and everything.
Yeah, man, that's been another like one of the greatest joys of like old heart radio has been getting David not only like on an episode, but like doing like a regular podcast with me. Like doing the Whack Arnold is so fun.
Yes.
I will say he's very much more. I feel like the heel sometimes in that, because I'm always like, oh wait, hold on, let me look at my notes. I try and squint at my screen, and I'm like,
and he just has it memorized anyway. Yeah.
Exactly. And David's just patiently waiting for me, and then eventually it's just like, all right, David, just tell us what it is.
yeah. And then his laugh is so contagious, and just every time I hear him do his ha 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 ha, I'm like, oh God, it gets me every time.
I know. And it was like, I remember doing the first one with him. It was like hearing him laugh again was just like exactly like how I had remembered it, and like you said, just as a kind of a contagious as it had always been. It's just like he's another guy. He's just like, he has eternal energy, and he's been through a fucking ringer and everything, and he's kind of getting it. He's still just that like energetic, positive force. It's so fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That cat's awesome. And yeah, dude, like some of the movies that he's brought up. So I'm trying to get my movie picks for that podcast to be better. But like the ones that he picks are the really good episodes.
Man, for a while, Dusty and I would just binge watch like B-grade horror movies, because Netflix actually had like just a subgenre, and that's what it was. Oh, hell we found some really some good gems in there. It was just like, oh my God.
Oh man, yeah. It's just so much fun watching those movies, because like, sometimes you get cool like gnarly death sequences, or like cars blown up in wild ways, but it's
just
also
extreme gore.
Yeah, just extreme gore, and just the campiness of it all just made me laughing your way through it. It's just so much fun. I don't know why. Like it's all, but like honestly, getting a good scare out of a horror movie is kind of fun too. Like I like the exhilaration of being scared from a good like moment in a movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, you won't find those on the movies that we watch over on that podcast.
If anything, your only shock value is just, oh my God, like that. They just his head got exploded or whatever. Just
that was, like we just did the Wishmaster 2, and that was like one of the coolest things about that movie was like there were just some ridiculously gory sequences just out of the blue. It's like it's all mundane stuff happening, and then like a wish is made, and all of a sudden like this dude's like bloody body stump is getting pushed through some like jail bars or something. You're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yes.
Oh man.
Have you kept in touch with Scott at all? Like I have no idea what he's been doing.
Scott is the mystery, man. Like I would leave it to him to be the enigma for sure. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to like get a hold of him. I was thinking like, I mean, I don't have a number for him. I haven't talked to anybody that does. And
yeah.
So I think like the best way is I might just have to message him on Instagram, like I have been doing with other people. And so I've been thinking about doing that though, but I have no idea where he's at. I don't even know if he's in like Portland, Washington, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's last I knew of him was he was doing school or something down in Portland.
Yeah, exactly. That was the last that I caught wind of him. But he would be another one, man. Like he was definitely like, he'd be another one to have on the show. It'd be really fun. But
yeah, they that other podcast you had with like Caleb and them, and they're just, I don't remember what code name you had for him, but it was just like, he was in the field playing the piano.
Robert. That's
Robert.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, we also referenced his chops, man, his chopping ability. Dude, Scott Weiss's like legendary karate chops, man. Like those things could fucking like take out a mountain. Like I don't even know what that means.
I'm pretty. Didn't he like knock out Caleb with one of those? I think.
Yeah, dude. I definitely remember that happening. And Caleb, I think, even brought it up. Yeah, so he was on the receiving end. I remember I got one really bad one time.
I think that was the fight that was at my house, and it spread outside because it just went too long into the evening. And then I think he finished by spitting on you.
A proud moment for yours truly. But yeah, no, that was. You know, there's a reason
I'm sure
why
you hit your head on the concrete too.
I did, man. I remember that, like, surprisingly. And you're right. Like, I love that the fact like that fight just like it was drawn out for so long that basically like your parents were just you just kind of like gently like, you know, just go outside with it or something. Get out of here with it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you want to do that, just leave my living room.
We're not gonna tell you to stop. Just don't do it here. Yeah, dude, that was a long one, man. And yeah, he it's, you know, I always blamed it on his arms. He had the reach on me. That's what I said.
If I remember it, like he had you like over his leg, dude. And he was like demanding that you say you gave up, and you didn't, and so he just chopped you in the neck.
It hurt. It was cutthroat. God, dude, I haven't thought about that fight, so I was just gonna say that there's definitely a reason why the first Jay Schmouder album was called Tales from the Vines Establishment. and like it's because there was just so much nonsense that we did there. This was ridiculous. We also had normal times. We played Catch Your Fly, you know.
Right. There was a lot of video gaming, but yeah.
There's a lot of video gaming. That was actually something that I had like set aside. I was like, I had to tell you, still to this day, in my mind, like you are the Super Smash Brothers N64 champion. Like Luke Gillespie might want to contest that or something, but
yeah, he was always Kirby.
Kirby, man, he was always Kirby. And if I'm correct, your go-to was Link a lot of times. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you always chose Star Fox.
I was always Star Fox. I was the weaker of the three of us, I think. But
yeah, I don't know. It's just I would always like stand off to the side and let you guys just like kill each other off, and then
it's
always be like, oh, we noticed he's still got a bunch of lives, you know.
Yeah, right near the end. It's funny because now when I play Smash on my Switch, that's exactly the technique I use. I'm like, I try to like stay out of the mix for a while, and then I pick off a few.
Yeah. It worked every time.
It does, man. It does. Yeah, it's so good.
I remember watching Todd Sutherland play, but he was like, I think it was like the Melee or something. It was on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he would always be Wario, and I remember watching him play. And Wario's like special move was like he'd just get on a friggin' Harley or something and just start zooming around and hit. And Todd always be like, motorcycle, and just start flying around.
Oh my God, that's another human being, man. Todd Sutherland, like I gotta keep this list going. I just have a list full of names. Somebody like were to just to find it on my phone, they'd think maybe I'm plotting to like serial kill a bunch of people. But it's like
just the Billy Madison murder list.
Yeah. I put on some lipstick right before I start adding names to it.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Todd would be another one to reach out to, man, because not only does he probably have like some fun stories from whatever gig he's doing right now, but God, dude, like another animated character, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
Just what a wild boy that one.
It seemed like his parents were like never home either, so it was just like go over to his house, especially in the summertime, just go hang over at his house.
Dude, debauchery ensued. Yeah, it was like we were talking about with, me and Jameson were and the other guys were talking about it, like how Jameson, like his folks were like gone quite a lot, and so were his grandparents, who were supposedly like watching him in the meeting and whatnot. But yeah, Todd's was another case like that, where it's like for some reason you just find like, you know, during the summer months they just be gone for like a month at a time.
Yeah.
You know? You're just like, you guys sure you don't mind if we just sort of take over your house? Like, okay. Oh man, yeah, that boy's still like, I mean, from what I understand, that boy is like, he like runs like a karaoke like set or something like that, like
some bar down in like Burbank or something like that.
Yeah, and he also does like some stuff with, you know, I believe production work. But yeah, it'd be fun to catch up with him too. Him and Scott, man, those are two people I'm officially adding to the list. Well, Scott was already on there. Todd, your name is on there if you're listening.
I'm coming for you.
I like to assume people listen to this podcast, whether they're like friends or like, you know, rich famous people who obviously have no idea. I just think they're all part of the roughly 1,000 listeners we have a month.
Yeah, I feel like this is starting to kind of branch out more, and probably it's reaching out more than, you know, I guess you thought it might have at first. But
yeah, I think what's been interesting is I think people are really responding to the idea of like that, like kind of what we were talking about, that catch-up sort of vibe, where it's sort of like, you know, it's just like friends who clearly have like that rhythm and that cadence and that you know, back and forth. I don't know, it's just working. But you know, that's never been the intent behind this whole thing. Like then that's kind of like, so it's kind of like this happy happening that it's growing, you know. At the same time, just kind of
organically developed. Yeah,
exactly. And you know, that's very similar to how I remember like a lot of things, you know, creative like projects and stuff happening. Excuse me, like in the Valley. You know, it just sort of, somebody'd have an idea, and then, you know, you'd like look around to see like, you know, which talent of your friends that you needed for this idea, and then like you rope some people in, and the next thing you know, another creative project was born. And and you know, so I think that's the spirit, you know, like moving over here and trying to like participate in music was immediately like, it was like a competitive thing where like everybody for some reason has like this chip on their shoulder, like they want to be the breakout, you know, group, and it just like with enough of that, you just realize how much it kills the fucking vibe of like getting together and just playing, you know, or like doing something like that.
You're like, everybody's trying to be the next big breakout group or something, and you're like, dude, it doesn't always have to be about that. I mean,
yeah, exactly, man. Like, why can't we just like enjoy writing the song, or enjoy playing the song, and just, you know, if these people over there enjoy it, cool. If these people think that we suck, like whatever, like, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, embrace it.
How long you been over there now? It's been several years, hasn't it?
Oh God, yeah. It's been almost a fucking decade, honestly. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, it's been really I've really enjoyed Olympia. It's because it's just kind of like low key. It's fairly quiet, but like in the last like handful of years, it's gotten really, I don't know, ramped up. It's like, it's a small town. It's not a big place, and it tries to have this like big city vibe, and like the people here, you know, though intentioned in whatever the way they want to be, like they, you know, like, I don't know, like they want to draw attention to this place like it's a hub, and it's just not, and so it gives this weird dynamic to the town, and it's kind of just become like, I don't know, like I've really enjoyed it, but I'm looking forward to moving somewhere else is what I'll say.
Are you? Yeah. I was kind of curious, if you were considering moving somewhere.
Yeah, me and my fiance, who I would love for you to meet sometime, Nadine.
Yeah, definitely.
She she's got her master's in teaching now, so she's kind of like pursuing, finding a career. She's working, she has a job here, but it's not really like a in class, like, everyday teacher kind of position. So that's sort of like this driving force for like where we want to try and like move in a way, because to her that's really, how we were talking about, like some people are really like in that way driven to be that person, like teachers are particularly like that, where it's like for some reason these individuals really feel passionate about being teachers, and that's who they want to be, that's their identity, and that's something that's the case for her. And so it's like, to me, that's it's cool that she feels that prideful about that, so it's
is it a certain grade or subject, or what's she trying to
for her? It's like language arts and social studies, and it's mostly like middle school age is what her focus is. So yeah, I know, right? I was like, damn, dude, like I wouldn't want to deal with me when I was in middle school, but I really, looking back, I really appreciate the people that did. And so it's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool to see somebody with a good head on their shoulders trying to enter that kind of atmosphere, because God, dude, like you realize how impactful classrooms are on us and on future generations. And so, are
you looking to stay on the west side over there?
That I don't, it's kind of, how do I say it? Like she has some family up on Whidbey Island, and not to discredit my family. If any of my family's listening, love you, but it's much more important for her to be close to her family than it is for me to be like right there next to mine. And so I don't really want to move any further away. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. There's not really any moves I don't think we're going to be making this year. We're just going to kind of like use this year to sort of keep saving up, because we have a stable, renting situation right now, and we both have, decent gigs and stuff. So, especially with me being in school, it's kind of like nice to have just like some stability in that way.
Exactly. Well, especially if you're still going to school. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your wife Jessica been up to? How's she doing?
Good. Yeah. She used to be the assistant manager at Coastal in East Wenatchee.
Yeah.
2 years ago, though, she quit. So she's just been doing stay-at-home mom pretty much, because thankfully what I do, like, it supports us. So
nice, man.
She can stay home, take care of the kiddo, and yeah, it's been a good setup for us. So.
Well, good. How's the kiddo doing?
Good. She's feisty.
Yeah. That makes sense.
She just turned 5 back in May, so.
Holy cow, 5.
She's a handful.
So far out of those 5 years, what's been like the craziest year with having a young version of yourself?
Honestly, like probably just more recent, like just the older she gets, it seems like the more conversation, like deeper conversation you can kind of have with them, and just she's funny. I mean, she's always like, she's just really sarcastic and just jabs at you and stuff, and just kind of like what, like just she'll dish it back to you and stuff, and you're just like, okay, yeah, I see where you get that from.
Fair enough. That's awesome, man.
It's funny. Yeah, it's one of those things, it's like when they're young, and it's like all you're pretty much doing is just taking care of them, feeding them, putting them down for naps and stuff, and it's like once they get older and their kind of personalities develop and everything, and it's just it's been funny. It's been fun to And just she's so creative too. I mean, I think kids always are. So it's just
hell
like, yeah, it's just the stuff that they come up with, and you're like, how did you even think of that? So like, what? Just, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all been good. That you know.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
But you, are you guys gonna go down that path someday? Maybe.
I truthfully don't. I have no idea. Like,
Don't know. Yeah.
you know, it's kind of It honestly, like the idea of getting married is still like I'm still catching up to it. Not in a bad way. It's just, you know, like I just didn't
one bridge at a time.
Yeah, I just didn't expect it. You know, like she proposed to me, which was wildly surprising to me.
That's awesome though.
It was, man. It was really cool, especially for somebody who's like kind of, you know, I never wanted to put pressure on the situation, and I kind of like stopped just because of like life. I just sort of stopped considering longevity as an option necessarily. And so it was just, you know, we've been together for 7 years, and
wow.
yeah, and you know, it kind of one after another just sort of, they kept stacking up. And then, you know, when she did propose to me at the end of December, it was just like, whoa, dude, you know, like, you're right.
I guess we'll.
Yeah. It's, well, it's just, I don't know. I mean, when you got married, like I don't know, like, how did, like, I mean, there's got to be a moment at some point where you kind of, it clicks, you know, and you're just like, damn, like, I do want to, like, you know, I do want to love and be around you for you know, as long as I got, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and that definitely, yeah, you kind of, it's for some people, I think it kind of can be an instant thing, or some people it just kind of develops. And yeah, I don't know, it's just, I guess if you just really like being around them and everything, and it's like your life is better, or you know, because they're with you and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's I feel like if you're with the right person too, it's just not hard. Like 7 years, that's awesome. That's a long time. You know, a lot of people don't even make it like a quarter of that distance. And so it's just like, if it's been easy, you know, just like, yeah, like it's been a great 7 years. Like I haven't had any issues, you know. And it's like, obviously marriage is just gonna kind of keep that vibe going. So I don't know. It's
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Because yeah, I mean, next month, August 17th will be my 8th wedding anniversary. So, and we've been together almost 10 years. So,
dang, man.
It's been good. I mean, it's been easy. Like we don't squabble or anything. It's just, it's like, it's your best friend. So yeah, you love being around them. So
yeah, man,
it's all good.
That's exactly it. It's you know, you hit a note with, like, you know, do they make your life better? You know, does that partner make your life better? Do you notice that, like, things, you know, are like, things being easier is also like a really good thing to kind of note, because it's not like, you know, you wake up and there's, you know, stuff done for you, or anything like that. It's necessary. It's just like you wake up and you realize that, like, you don't necessarily always have to stress about everything, because you can kind of rely a little bit more on, like, somebody else having eyes on this, or, you know, and, you know,
you have a partner.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. It's this whole marriage thing will be an interesting pursuit, but that's wild. Man. I'm so happy that, like, you guys are hitting 8. That's so cool, man. I think that's.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna go down to Seaside, Oregon, kind of do our little anniversary trip.
That's cool. I've never been to Seaside, and, like, I actually, like, even, like, just a couple weeks ago, I was telling somebody, like, that's, like, I want to get an Airbnb and just, like, try and get down there. I just, you know, it's, from what I've heard, so nice and so cool. It's just like a nice little, like, pretty area, and you're just sort of like, I don't know.
It is,
I've never gone down there. That's cool.
It's touristy. I mean, it is like it's a summer destination spot, but it's not bad. It's never like, oh, there's so many people here, I can't squeeze myself to the beach. It's like, no, it's a huge beach. I mean, you're gonna have no issues finding it. And Cannon Beach is another really cool spot, and that's like 15 minutes south of Seaside, so that's another good place to check out too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, being that close, 15 minutes ain't nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's sweet. Hell yeah, man. This all reminded me, just because we're talking about like out of area things. I wanted to bring up your adventure in drum school, because Jeremiah brought up, and he even sent me the link to the, after you refound it, like the link to the video of you performing your like test.
Oh yeah, I think it's 2 videos from Brit. Yeah,
dude, it is so goddamn tight. Like I was just like I remember like watching it, but you know, back before, and like rewatching it, I was just like, holy cow, man! You're on it. Like and that's why I tell everybody whenever I tell stories about you like your drumming, I'm like, dude, is the most like precise, and like I don't know how you know how to hit like exactly as hard as you need to. Like you're all like, I don't know, man. It's just like do you still have a kit like at your house at all?
Oh yeah, I've got that green Orange County drum set that I have.
Hell yeah.
That's the one I recorded that Simon Leper album. I still have that one.
Oh, dude,
and then I
beautiful kit.
Thank you. It was expensive, so it's worth hanging on to.
For sure.
And then I just have this like little practice pad kit that's mostly what I kind of play as. It's quiet, but yeah. I mean, I still tootle around with stuff, and
hell yeah.
Usually I'll just put on headphones and like just listen to music or something, and just kind of tap away at whatever. But it's been a while since I've actually like played live with anybody, so.
Dude.
That's definitely an itch you get, that you're like, man, that'd be so cool to just jam again. It's been forever. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, rumor has it that, classic me, I'm trying to take on as many creative projects as I can at any given time. I floated the idea of trying to get Schmouder off the ground again with another album. And immediately, like, my mind jumped to, well, we need Dusty and Troy and Rex and Flint, the Flanton, we need Hotathel, the Wolf Slayer, and like it's definitely going to be like an ongoing project. But if you're game to be involved in any way, like I think we would all benefit from having you on the kit, or even if you just want to do like some light voice acting over a couple of tracks. I don't know, anything. I want you to be a part of it if you want, because it's like this weird, slowly growing passion thing. Like Nick sent me this riff that he had worked on, and it's just some classic like ridiculous over the top metal riff, and I've been practicing lyrics with it, and I'm about to record like a little snippet so we can like say like, okay, let's build from here. But yeah, man, I think it'd be so much fun for all of us to get together and just try to jam sometime again. Like, I know it sounds like Rex might have
I would definitely be.
Yeah. Well then we'll have to make it happen. Also, just so you know, we are trying to get this, like, we have a couple of dates set in September where basically we're all trying to like meet up at Dusty's house to do like a barbecue hangout sesh, probably like podcast record sesh, with like as many of us as we can. So I should have told, like, I don't know why we're on a podcast, I'm recording, this is you getting the information, I guess. But like, I'll get you the actual dates that we set aside and everything. But like if you can make it, that'd be so fucking epic, for all.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like we even got
in person. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like we even got David and Jameson come. They're gonna be trying to swing in from their end. I think they might try and carpool and shit. So you know,
That'd be fun.
it'd
Yeah.
be really cool. But that could be an opportunity for all of us to maybe like, I don't know. I don't want to like put too much on Dusty's house, you know. I'm not trying to say that we're gonna, like,
Yeah.
you know, show up and just fucking put a party on. But I mean, if all of us are around, like we might be able to get like a jam session somehow. You know, that'd be pretty.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. But you know,
Long overdue.
just speaking of music and projects, you know, I don't want to cover all of it necessarily in this one because that's my way of forcing you to record more podcasts with me. but you were the backbone of so many music projects, like, and I say that in like the way where it's like, again, like I feel like even if you were involved with maybe players that were sloppier, we'll say, or like, you know, like you were able to like kind of hold it together because you were just like you were so tight and you were like just I don't know, you're always a presence on the kit. But I was trying to write down a list of groups that like I had at least on my mind that I knew that you were a part of, and I got a few of them down. And I need you to like, you know, just if I'm missing some, feel free to like tell me or not. But the first one I wrote down, and I don't know if this is the first one for you or not, but Yesterday Never Came.
Yeah, I think so. I remember the very first time we practiced, we called ourselves the Squeaky Hinges.
Yeah. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's so true.
I think you were there too.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was a member of that group for all of like, I don't know, maybe 2 practices or so, and then there was eventually like, I wasn't contributing very much, we'll say. But
yeah, and then that morphed into Yesterday Never Came. Yeah,
that name came courtesy of Zach Rogers, I believe. I think was it him or you that came up with the name? I can't, or was it Luke?
I think I might have come up with that one.
That was where that was like, at some point there was like I know there's like a one random shirt made or so, like there was like, you know, the little things. So okay, so Yesterday Never Came was you, but that had like a bit of a rotation. So I remember I remember when we were the Squeaky Hinges, we tried to perform a TMNT cover. And I was, oh my god, dude, I had such rebellious moods sometimes that I remember trying to pull that off at my house.
In your basement.
Only to get kicked out of my own birthday party. Or no, anyway. It was like,
there was a lot of people there. I remember that.
There was. It actually.
And they were like, flooded out your garage down into your driveway, and yeah,
all there to see us play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song. I guarantee it. But so it was like you and Zach and Luke was playing bass for you guys for a while.
Yeah, Luke was bass. I remember we did a show, I think it was at Dustin Osborne's house. Yeah. And I remember we covered Carousel by Blink-182. Like that was like our big thing.
I just remember you guys practicing that, like that, and there's like a brand new song that
Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those.
That was something Zach was like adamant about us playing. It's a good song. I didn't mind it, but
yeah. But he really wanted to stick it.
Because after Luke left, Caleb Barger joined.
That's right.
And then we had Antonio Bravo as a vocalist for a period of time.
I was just going to say that dude had like this like golden baby god voice. It was like this, like he was like it was so. I remember, like, I didn't know exactly what he was like. I mean, I knew he was a really good singer, but I'd never pictured him in a music project before. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if it was Zach's idea or who thought of like getting him, but I mean, he was with us for like 6 months or something like that. It was a little while.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. Like, it was cool that he was a part of it because, you know, I just, at least like from the perspective of like, you know, just somebody getting in, you know, into making music. It was just kind of cool to see somebody getting, you know, thrown into there, and like, just, you know, the dude was clearly a good singer, but it was like, you know, now you got to also like kind of think about like lyrics and like what you're, you know, all sorts of things. It was interesting. Was there any other lineup changes to Yesterday Never Came besides?
After Antonio left, Bill Schooler came in. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit, Bill Schooler. And then was so fucking cool to me. He was like, he's a good dude. I haven't talked to him in forever, but yeah, man. I think he joined the military for a while there anyway. I believe he did, yeah. But yeah, dude, that solid guy. And
then Bill and I think Andy Card, like they both came in at the same time.
That's right. I was Andy. So at that point was it you, Andy, Zach, and Bill,
and Caleb.
Okay. Oh man,
we were 5 piece.
Playing bass.
Yeah, Caleb was playing bass. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, Caleb Barber.
That was the last kind of iteration of that band. Yeah.
Fair enough. I remember you guys played a set at the Wenatchee High School also, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think that was with
Crammed into the
Starving Eyes was there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Starving Eyes. Oh my goodness. I made a joke on I think a different episode where I was like, at some point somebody listened to like Avenged Sevenfold and all of a sudden hardcore was off in the valley.
Pretty much. Dude, yeah. Bryant Guest was the one that introduced Avenged Sevenfold to me, and it was totally like, what is this? Like metal music, you know? And it totally, like, I just got obsessed with it and like kind of started me down that path.
Same. I mean, I listened to Unholy Confessions like a few weeks ago, and it had been the first time I listened to it in a while, and it still hits, man. Oh
man, yeah.
You know, it's fucking like, I could see how easily we all got wrapped up into that energy, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I remember it, because Bryant introduced it to you, I got introduced to it, and like, yeah, like I just feel like that was like the hit, and then I remember like Save the Hero happened, and then, you know, like Yesterday Never Came started trying to roll, and then like all this stuff started just like popping off. But what was the next project? Was DFR the next group that you were a part of after Yesterday Never Came?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, because Yesterday Never Came ended when we were like sophomores in high school, and then I joined DFR the summer between sophomore and junior year, I believe.
Yeah.
And actually, what's kind of funny is the reason I joined that band was because Bob Arlt, the neighbor right across the street.
Yeah.
Because Calvin was in his shop class and knew he played guitar, and he's like, oh, like, I hear you, you know, banging on your drums, like, across the street. It's like, you should give Calvin a call. Like, I guess he's got a band. Like, that's literally how I got the idea to ask.
That's so great, dude. I have, to this day, there's just this vivid image of Bob Arlt in the middle of, like, fucking, like, 70 to 90 mile an hour winds or whatever the hell, just on top of his roof, like nothing holding him down, just hammering shingles back into place, like he's flipping off God. You know?
He totally. He's like cursing at the wind, shaking his fist.
Exactly. He's like, nature has nothing on Bob Arlt.
Right. I am the storm.
Exactly, man. Oh, dude, that's so good.
And he would be out there like around Christmas time. It'd be like first week of December, there's ice and most likely snow all over his roof, and he's up on his roof still, hanging over the edge to like clip on his Christmas lights. Like, what are you doing?
No fear, that guy. Oh my God, dude, for real though. That's so funny. I never knew that. I never knew that that's where you got the idea to try and link up with them.
Yeah.
So when you started playing with them, I think it was either JMO or Caleb, I think, mentioned Aaron Lesky. I had completely forgotten that Lesky was a part of that group at some point. Was he? Did he start with when you started? Did you guys like?
He started, I think, right after I did.
Okay.
Because like, you know, that was like when Rex was just starting to kind of mess around with drums. Because the very first like recording session that DFR did, Rex was playing drums, and so, you know, obviously I think they were kind of looking for somebody to take over since Josh Deal left.
How do I say this? I can't remember the name of the first drummer that Rush had, but it's like when Rush brought Neil Peart to replace their drummer and go on tour. Like, you know, night and day, like difference. I mean, I'm not saying that towards Rex. It was just, you know, the deal just didn't have the same prowess, we'll say, as yourself, and so it was just
I guess he just he wasn't into it, so
yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, that's when it always starts showing. It's just like you know, you start kind of losing interest, and then like what you're putting in just becomes like, man, I'm just here hanging on the beat, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think if I remember it, I joined shortly before, and then school started, and I think that's when Aaron Lesky came into play as the second guitar player.
Okay. Because
I think Elliot was doing guitar as well as Calvin, and then Elliot started playing more piano keyboard stuff, and he kind of wanted to do that, and so that's why like, whoa, we liked having a second guitarist. So yeah, Aaron came on. It was fun. It was cool. I liked Aaron. I have absolutely no idea what he's been doing since we graduated, but
same, dude. That was like when it got brought up the other recording. I was like, that had been the first time I'd heard Aaron Lesky's name in so long, and I was just like, God, dude. But that was just like kind of like Bill, man. Just Aaron was another just fucking solid dude, like solid individual.
Yeah,
big cat, man. Yeah. That DFR was such a cool fucking band to me. Like, you guys, I was all about you guys, like DFR playing. Like,
that was fun time, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you guys played at the skate park once in Wenatchee.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember I didn't have a drum throne, so I had to sit on a box.
Dude. Well, too bad Caleb wasn't there. You could have just used him as a substitute.
Right? Jeez.
Oh, man. But yeah, you guys were also like, you know, we've been talking about, me and some of the other guys, we've been talking about Grange shows a lot, which were so damn formative. And DFR was like one of those bands, like you guys became kind of like a staple for the Grange shows in a way. Like,
kind of weird. I was sort of like, I think we were just one of the waiting for Daryl like bands that he could always just, I need another band. Like, DFR, I'm sure they'll be able to do it. So
yeah, it's like
he kind of obviously they helped us get on a lot of those shows.
Yeah. Well, did you guys did DFR play with the Blakes back in the day?
Yeah, I think we did a couple times.
I was gonna say, like, they were one of those kind of like, you know, they were sort of like starting to get a little bit like name for themselves and whatnot when they were rolling through. I remember back in
there was another band, DEK. They were another kind of bigger, quote unquote, kind of punk Seattle, pop punky.
Yeah,
we played with them like 3 or 4 times, I think.
They had kind of like an aesthetic about them. They had kind of like,
they had like the 70s like colorful suits and stuff. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, man, like those Grange shows were just so fucking killer. I feel like we all collectively remember them way more fondly than they were or something, but it's like almost any time I talk to somebody about like a show at the Grange, it's, you know, like, a regarded affair. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
And that was why it was so cool seeing you guys play there all the time. And like, but you know, one of the things that really sticks out to me looking back on, like, particularly when you joined DFR, was the fact that that's really started bridging this, like, these friend groups that have been formulating, you know, like you, me, and Luke in particular, and like some of the other East Wenatchee kids, you know, like in that kind of area. We
Right.
had been, hanging out since fucking elementary school at that point,
Yeah, exactly. And now we're like smashing into this other friend circle, and
yeah, and
I think that kind of was, it was sort of like that was kind of the catalyst that started that whole
absolutely
new big friend group, I guess. Yeah.
Which is, and to me that's like one of the most formative moments for myself, because it's like not only did I get a chance to meet all these other lifelong friends, but it became like all of a sudden like we all had means to do things like make music together.
Yeah.
We all had, just I don't know. Instead of being in our pocket of East Wenatchee, we now had like this whole like chunk of East Wenatchee that we like basically rolled around through. But yeah, I really think back on it, like that was kind of the moment. Like you were sort of not to put like any spotlight on you if you don't want it, but I think you were really like a pretty big part in just kind of like bridging that gap, like and like making those friend groups kind of like come together, because after you started playing in DFR, I remember that's when I started calling Calvin Captain Astro, and like
Yep.
and then we all started kind of like off and on like going out to like lunch together, going get fucking pick fives from Arby's.
Oh man, the heart attack special.
Oh god, dude, I feel it now. Those mozzies, dude. David said the phrase "mozzie stick" on a fucking podcast, and I almost lost it one day.
I remember one time we went to, I think we were at Sherry's, because that was our other staple.
Oh god.
And like David overheard somebody say like, it was like, Mustafa put hash prints in Matthew.
Dude, I totally remember that. Who the fuck?
And he just couldn't let it go, and I had to he kept repeating it.
It was so good, dude. I totally fucking remember that. Dude, David had some of the best catchphrases. Like he got me, like that's why and still sometimes I catch myself saying them. I'll just be like, Pete Sampras. Like he used to say just like the most random things like that.
Or Bob Saget's Bill Nye.
Oh my god, dude. Bob Saget's Bill Nye. Holy shit, man. Oh my god, yeah. That's so good. But yeah, man, DFR though. So did you guys recorded an album at least, right? I believe so.
Yeah, we recorded one, I guess, studio album. It's called a Press Conference for a Newborn.
Yeah.
And then we did a live album at the Lab, I believe, too.
Fair enough. I think any East Wenatchee band worth their salt's got to get a live Lab album under their belt. The Schmatter one's absurd.
I believe I have heard it.
It's so bad. It was just like, I remember I used to have because I didn't understand the nuances of playing a fucking guitar at the time. I used to always like get so like frustrated when we had to wait for somebody to like tune up or like whatever on stage. And during that live album, it definitely kind of shows at some points where like I'm sort of like, what are we doing next? Okay,
Yeah. I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and it's like it's because you have that energy going, but at the same time, it's like looking back on it, like one of those things. It's like, dude, like anybody that can change a fucking string on the on stage gets my applause. Like in the middle of the set, like yeah. So it's the live album. At least the Schmouter live album is it's all right, I'll say. But I forgot the DFR did one. Like that makes sense, because you guys were kind of, in terms of like the relation to J Schmouter El Capitan, like I think that band kind of sparked for myself that like what kind of ridiculous music can we make with how like all these people at our fingertips, you know, because. But I don't think Schmouder was going before the first Whack Arnold show. I think it started. I think that might have technically been my next foray into music there, but which I forgot until recently that Andy Cutrich was a part of that original lineup. So
I think I remember that. I believe that show was at the Grange.
It was.
I kind of remember that.
I'm proud to say that the Whack Arnolds debuted at the Grange.
Because he had a surfer wig or something on, if I remember right.
Like just picturing these characters on stage, me, Fitz, Andy Cutrich, and Nick Jackson. Like
Nick Jackson.
Like what are we all doing there, you know?
Making memories.
Oh my god, dude. It's so true though. Like, yeah, that Grange Hall holds some like good fucking memories and some good times.
It'd be cool if we could like somehow coordinate to do some sort of live show there, but I have no idea if it's just like a bingo hall now or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, honestly, dude, that's a really solid idea. Jameson a while ago, I think, kind of jokingly was like, we should all pool our money together and buy the Grange, you know? And although I do think, you know, Jameson, if you're listening, I think it's a fucking awesome idea, and how like wonderful would that be to like turn that place into a music venue for that area.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it's owned by I believe the county or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
So I don't think they're going to sell it to us, but I wonder if that would be something worth pursuing, like trying to set up, you know, just sort of like a classic fucking Grange show. Like,
right.
My God, man, now you got me thinking. You got some juices flowing. All right.
I bet Waiting for Daryl would be there.
Dude, you know, I was talking a little. I felt bad. I didn't mean to come off like I was talking smack about Waiting for Daryl necessarily, but like because of like kind of how much they did sort of help like get people like on stage around town.
Yeah.
It was mostly just like I wasn't like always down with their style of punk music at the time. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I meant. I was just sort of like, it's skate punk,
right?
You know,
and that's kind of how I felt. That was like, I mean, they were good, but it's not like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing I've ever listened to.
Yeah, the bass player's wearing.
But they definitely.
He's holding. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had like the popularity around town, so like they could draw a crowd if there was going to be one. So
for sure. I mean, they were what I think some of us would later become, where we like, you know, they turn into this sort of senior statesman of the local music scene.
Right.
And yeah, that's definitely what they kind of were at that moment in time. I think they were kind of like the big kids, you know, help getting everybody else like to, you know, up to their level. So, you know, they're basically moving on.
Yeah.
They were also Waiting for Daryl, I think, came up right around the time. I wish I remember the name of this band. Dana Messer has a brother who
Tyler,
who used to also play the drums, and he was like a wicked fucking drummer.
Yeah, he passed away. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he it was like last November or something. I guess he just had like a sudden heart attack out of nowhere. It's like, oop.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Well, my condolences, man. Rest in peace to Tyler Messer. Jesus. Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, he was a member of like a band that I never.
Was it the one that was kind of like the reggae-ish ska band? Is that the one you're thinking of?
I want to say yes. I never.
Because that band was called 1203, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. I think that might have been it.
Yeah. Because I remember they played at the Grange one time.
Fair enough. Cause like they in my mind, like they were kind of, I put like 1203 and I think they were kind of like, and Waiting for Daryl sort of in like a similar category where they were sort of like, you know, they were doing sets before like a lot of us started, you know, really popping off around town and stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They were the elder statesmen.
Elder statesmen. That's another cat, man. I don't know if you've followed this cat at all. There's this dude who's like a little younger than us, Dustin Hayes.
He's reached out to me a couple of times about music stuff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that, man, because like I said earlier, like I feel like you were like a backbone of like a lot of like, you know, well-regarded projects, we'll say.
He was trying to find a DFR t-shirt.
Fair enough.
And he asked me if I had one, and I didn't. I still had the bass drum head that had the same logo on it, but
oh, you did? That's cool.
Yeah, I think I still do. So I'm pretty sure it's in my garage.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. He's been trying to, like, I think he just kind of slowly is just, you know, he's just continuing to chronicle music around Wenatchee. You know, I think that's really cool. But
he plays music too. I mean, yeah, because he just did a show at Wally's like a couple weeks ago, and he was actually playing.
Yeah, he not only does he have like his own kind of like ongoing solo projects, which he did, you know, he has a solo album on Spotify, and I'm not going to do it the honor of like remembering the name at the moment. Sorry, but but it's actually a really solid album. Like it's a cool, you know, it's not like your typical singer-songwriter, you know, kind of album. It's got some energy to it, which I really appreciated, because that dude's a fucking punk. Like, and I mean that in like the most best regard. And that's he's been drumming, if I'm correct, for the band Not All There, which has been making fucking punk music like since like '98. You know, I mean, like,
damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's really cool. Like they're just, you know, and then again, it's some people who I don't think they really go out of their way to seek, you know, attention. I think they just want to play some music and sign up for sets at, you know, bars and stuff, and they go and just enjoy themselves and get the crowd going. And I think that's fucking radical, man. But all right, we're about like an hour 20 into this. So my dear friend, I'm gonna kind of cut this one off because I want to save some of your musical journey for another episode. Because the next episode I want to do, if you'd humor me, I'm gonna try and rally you, me, and Dusty together so we can talk about some outer stuff. And
that'd be cool.
And then I want to try and do one with you, me, and Jeremiah, like you suggested, because you know, only the three of us can truly talk about Simon the Leper. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, I want you to know I really, really appreciate this. Like, this has been so much fun. Just, you know, seeing your face, catching up, laughing, like telling some stories. Like, I thoroughly have missed you, and I hope to continue to have you, like, you know, in my fucking life and on this podcast, my friend.
Yeah.
So
we just need to get together in person. Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's like just all about getting together in person. Like I said, I'll send you those dates for September, in particular, man, because I hope that we can all like see each other. Like, I think we all could use it, you know, a good
definitely
fucking hang sesh, you know. But all right, you got any last words that you want to say before I cut off this recording?
I don't know.
You can be generous.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Hell yeah, man. You heard it here.